one of our Catan is getting a huge upgrade. The Necron Tomb Worlds awoke this week to the news that we are getting a new Nightbringer mini at long last. But will it come with new rules? And if so, what should it do? In this video, we'll give a quick summary of what happened when the mini was announced and why that announcement was brought forward. We'll try and answer some of your immediate follow-up questions, and then we will look at the existing datasheet and analyse its strengths and weaknesses. From there, I think we can then start looking at what the datasheet should look like for the new mini, along with some of the challenges that a larger mini brings. And finally, I'll give you my infamous predictions about what I think the new datasheet will look like. But before we get into that, I've also got an exciting channel update for you. We have got two new sponsors. The first one, I am wearing them. This is, can you see that there? That is Gambit Gaming. Gambit Gaming make fantastic high quality clothing that is inspired by the grimdark. And they also, if you're a video gamer, they have an amazing video gaming range as well. So definitely go and check them out. I have an affiliate link with them and I will leave it in the comments. The second sponsor is Loaded Dice, which is a brilliant third-party gaming shop, and that is based in South Wales, but they obviously ship UK-wide. They've got a brilliant website. Go and check them out. Again, there's an affiliate link. Please use it to support the channel. So, what happened with the new Nightbringer announcement? Well, this started off as a leak. There were a couple of pages that started to circulate the internet which looked like they were from a Kill Team rulebook, which clearly showed the new Nightbringer mini and also its datasheet for Kill Team. And the internet went wild, as you can imagine. I got overexcited, made a couple of videos, lots of other people did, but it sparked a huge amount of conversation online. And almost immediately, GW tried to shut that down by confirming that the Nightbringer was coming. They made an official announcement. They showed us a snazzy video of the Nightbringer. There was an article on Warhammer Community, and that confirmed everything that we expected. They also gave us a very handy size guide. So there's an image in that Warhammer Community article of the old Nightbringer compared to the new model, and you can see how big the new one really is. Also, interestingly, the new model confirms something that we've wondered about since the original Nightbringer came out in 2002, which is, does the Nightbringer have feet? It clearly has very nice feet if you're into that sort of thing. As part of those conversations, a lot of you reached out to the channel and asked three basic questions. Number one was, when is this coming out? Number two is, how can I buy it? And number three is, what happens to my existing Nightbringer model? For release date, we just don't know exactly. They said in the Warhammer Community article 2026, and I would expect or guess the second half of the year. There's a good reason for that, and that is because the Nightbringer will be available in Kill Team Shadowhunt. And that Kill Team box is rumoured to be the third of three. The first one is Kill Team Tomb World, and that should be out for pre-order next month. Go and check out the video I've already done on that. I'll put a link in the description. I'm very excited about that one because it contains the Geomancer, a new cryptek. But my expectation is there is therefore a middle box. So if Kill Team Tomb World with the Geomancer comes out in September, we can expect the middle box in, say, early 2026, and then the final box will come later that year. The second question is, how can we buy it? And again, we're not sure yet. But if Games Workshop follows its tried and tested path, then the Nightbringer is likely to be box locked. What I mean by that is that the first and only way you'll be able to get a hold of him is in that big Kill Team set. That is the same for the Geomancer, who is coming out in the Tomb World box. So you will have to buy the full box. And loads of you also reached out to say, well, what happens to my existing Nightbringer? Can I still use it on the tabletop? And the answer is emphatically yes. The existing model will remain GW legal, if you like, until the new model comes out. And so we've got months and months of being able to use the little Short King model that we've got at the moment before we get our hands on the new one. So if you've just bought one or you've just ordered one, don't worry, you're still going to get months and months of play out of it. And the reality is, unless you go to events where they only allow the official models. If you're just playing with your friends, nobody cares. Just use the old model until you get the new one. Don't get too hung up on these things. Having addressed those few questions, let's take a look at the existing datasheet and analyse some of the strengths and weaknesses. Overall, it was a super strong datasheet at the start of the edition, but has kind of been left behind of late. Fundamentally, the Nightbringer is designed, in my opinion, to be a great counterpunch unit that can also take a real beating. He's superb in melee, and he can dish out mortal wounds at the end of the fight phase. He also has a little bit of shooting, which is pretty strong, but D3 shots can be very swingy. So those are some of the strengths covered off, but weaknesses, the main weakness is movement. 6-inch move is terrible. I talk repeatedly in my videos about how important movement is in winning games. Movement of 6 makes the Nightbringer just too easy to avoid. A good opponent will simply play around it. On top of that, it's no longer as durable as it used to be. As 10th edition has progressed, lethality has increased due to codex creep. Now it still has a 4-up invulnerable save, it halves incoming damage, and has a 5-up feel no pain, and they are still good. But increasingly, other factions have got tools to deal with the Nightbringer. Moving on to look at the new model, there are 3 things that we immediately noticed. Number 1, obviously it is much bigger. That means it is more easy to target. It will get shot more often. Number 2 is that the base is significantly bigger. It's going to be on either the same size as the Void Dragon, which I think is 80mm, or it could even be a 100mm base for the Nightbringer. So what that means is it's much easier to screen out if you are planning on bringing the Nightbringer in from strategic reserves, or you're playing Hypercrypt and you want to Cosmic Precision him in. It's harder when the base is bigger. But the flip side to that bigger base is if he has auras still, like he does at the moment, they will have a longer range because the base is bigger, you measure from the base, therefore the aura will extend further out. So there is a positive there. Staying with the positive theme, there was an awful lot of speculation about what a new datasheet could look like for this new model. So I want to talk you through some of the suggestions that you guys, the community, made and see what you think. One of the most popular choices was the ability to move through walls. And what I mean is similar to what big knights do now, so they can choose to move through a wall and they roll a d6 and on a 1 they are battle shocked. That would make the Nightbringer much more mobile straight away because he no longer has to walk around terrain. Staying with that big knight theme, some people would like to see it have a similar profile, so a lot more wounds fundamentally. At the moment it's only got 12 wounds. Other people would really like it to have advance and charge. I would love to see this, but I do think it's highly unlikely. On top of that, a few of you wanted it to have fights first. That kind of feels a little bit too strong given his profile. I think the issue that a lot of us have got is that his movement means that he's often the one getting charged, and I think you just fix that with better movement. Another really interesting one that I like is wound regeneration. Obviously, he has reanimation protocols like any other Necron unit. But if you think about the Void Dragon, that has the ability to do damage to vehicles and then kind of absorb those wounds back to heal itself. So if the Nightbringer could do that with other units, that would be really cool. And on top of that, he's meant to be absolutely terrifying. So I was wondering about something like a Battle Shock and Mortal Wound combo, like perhaps some Chaos Knights have got. So at the end of the fight phase, he does every unit that's within a certain range has to take a Battle Shock test, and if they fail that, then he does Mortal Wounds to that unit. That would kind of feel really thematic to me. Morton, who is one of our channel supporters, he also thought about giving Anti-Infantry 2+, and also maybe Blast and Sustain 2 on his Gaze of Death. That would be really strong, I think. Whether that's going to be the case, I'm not sure, though. And also maybe it's an ability that triggers a grenade effect if enemy infantry are within 12 inches at the beginning of the fight phase. So a bit similar to the Battle Shock Mortal Wound combo, something where he does Mortal Wounds at the start of the fight phase would also be pretty strong. What about my predictions? Well, I do think that it is going to look more like what a big knight looks like right now. So I do think things like move through walls with risk of battle shock. I think it would have a lot more wounds. It will have better movement. And perhaps something combining that battle shock and mortal wounds like we talked about. And the icing on the cake there would be that healing capability. Can he absorb wounds from enemies? but I think he's probably going to lose Necrodermis. That's the rule which allows him to halve damage. I think 11th edition is probably going to continue Games Workshop's strategy of homogenization, which started in 10th. So, for example, if it is a knight-sized model, it will share some of the basic traits of a knight. This means that datasheets will get more similar, in my opinion, and I believe this is to help with the mental load of competitive play, because a huge part of tournament skill is knowing your opponent's datasheets, and if Games Workshop can make those datasheets more similar while still giving them a little bit of unique flavour, that will make the competitive game easier to play. That about wraps things up for this video. Let me know though in the comments what you think. I'll try and answer all the comments as I always do. So for example, are you as excited as me about this new Nightbringer model, or do you prefer the old one? And also, did I miss any ideas for what its datasheet and abilities could contain? If you've got some good ideas, please share them with the rest of the community. At this juncture, I'd also like to give a big shout out to all the Patreons and channel members. Your name should appear on screen right now. As always, your support is really, really appreciated. And if any of you would like to join, I'll leave links in the description. It's only £3, starts at £3 on the lowest tier. It would make a massive difference to me though, so if you can spare that, please do. If you can't and you still want to support us, please use those affiliate links I mentioned at the beginning of the video for Loaded Dice and also for Gambit Gaming. And last but not least, just simply like, sub and share. The more engagement the channel gets, the quicker it'll grow, and I'm very, very grateful for that. So thanks again for watching, and I'll be back soon with another video.